Hey, you! I'm your nutrition coach. My name is Jackie Poole. Welcome to Happiness is a Healthier Habit. Let's get today's episode started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this special episode. I am still trying to get over the hump of this time change. I am usually one to kind of start preparing and a week before kind of start going to sleep a little later. But the weekend was just kind of all over the place. I mean, I had a vendor's event. I've had 2 kids' parties to go to. My husband was needing to leave with one of them and go charge the car that he's renting. Like, it was just insane. And my whole schedule for the weekend was off. And on Sunday, I did not wake up and feel it, but I definitely felt it on Monday. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful time right now. Spring is kind of my second favorite. Summer will always be my forever. Like, I rather be drenched in sweat and hot and be warm than be cold. And so I am just loving what I'm seeing outside. We have more sun during the day. We have more daylight. I can hear the birds chipping out my window. Like, there's still no leaves on the trees, but it's coming. And so I am just feeling these spring vibes right now. No matter the time change, I will have to prep next time, but I'm like coming home and taking like a little cat nap because it's just been like, I feel so out of it when I wake up. My alarm has been waking me up these past 2 days, and I'm usually one that wakes up like a couple of minutes before my alarm. And so it's been kind of interesting this week. But anyways, today's episode is going to be a very special one. The last time I spoke to you was about this kind of pre-cancer scare that I had from my OBGYN. And if you haven't listened to that, please do. It's the previous episode before this one. So I will link it down below. I'll make sure to do that. But if you have some family members that were diagnosed with cancer and you're very close to them, I had genetic testing, and without going with too much details, it is very scary to hear that predisposition diagnosis. And so definitely be aware of the things that you can do. And I'll probably even dive a little deeper into something else. But anyways, regressing here. Today's episode, again, I am kind of sharing another personal part of my life right now, right? So I am currently trying to get pregnant. I am about to be 34 next month, and this is going to be like our last hurrah, right? We are trying for the girl, but we want a very healthy, very, basically we just want the baby to be, 5, 10 toes, 10 fingers, like be okay, right? No matter what it is. The reason we decided to do this was because, I don't know, I just kind of started getting some baby fever, and my oldest one was like, I want a baby sister. And I figured, hey, we can definitely do this, but definitely will be the last time, right? So right now, for myself, I'm trying to do everything in my power to support my body, to support my fertility. I only have 1 ovary, which a lot of people are like, oh, that doesn't matter. But in my eyes, I think it does. It doesn't like cut it in half, but it definitely does make an impact on how my body compensates, right? Because I'm meant to have 2 ovaries and now I only have 1. But I am doing things holistically that can really help me to be more fertile. And something that I came across was increasing your human growth hormone, right? So through a holistic way. So the way I'm doing this is I am currently using SomaDerm gel, right? Fertility is something that can be very frustrating, very overwhelming. I've never had fertility issues, but I did have an IUD for a really long time. And towards the end of having that IUD, I could tell like I was having, my periods were definitely not as heavy as they used to be. They've always been very regular, but they're very condensed. I don't, menstruate as I once did, as heavy as I did. So I felt like it was just less and less and less. So I never struggled with fertility issues. Whenever we planned, we did, get pregnant. It didn't take much for us to, we didn't have any struggles or anything like that. But I've just hear so many things these days that, the fertility rate is decreasing on both female and males, right? So it is very scary to hear these statistics. I follow this business owner. She is the founder of Bloom, and she's, has her IVF story because she's, didn't get pregnant in the time frame that she wanted to. I have close friends that have been trying for a really long time. And then I have other relatives that, they've had multiple kids and no issues, right? But I think it's because we want this right now. We definitely, in a time frame, we want it so bad that it kind of puts that pressure, right? And of course, God is going to make it happen when the time is right. But I really want to focus on the fertility part, right? It can be, again, overwhelming, but the truth is we have a lot of control. We have a lot of control over our bodies than what we think. And there's so many things that we can do. And I always like to give whatever I can give out to those people who are struggling, or, hear from the doctor. There's nothing you can do. It's just the way it is. That's not entirely correct, right? There are so many abundant things that we can do, whether it's, for hormonal balance, whether it's nutrition, whether it's moving, whether it's improving our habits, which is what I am always talking about and preaching. And so I want to be kind of an example, to be like, hey, look, this is possible, no matter the age, no matter the circumstances, no matter your past, like we can figure something out, right? So today's episode is definitely going to be creating this ideal environment for conception. So if you're on a fertility journey or just really want to optimize your overall health, I think this is going to be a great episode for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So I kind of mentioned something earlier. So first, let's talk about HGH, which is human growth hormone. This is something that I actually have in one of my guides for increasing this with the ebook that I created. And this is one of the hormones that I actually speak about because it's really helpful for increasing this for just overall health, right? You might think of, and we're just going to keep calling it HGH because it's just shorter to talk about it this way. But you might think of HGH as something only related to muscle growth or anti-aging, right? But it actually plays a huge role in reproductive health. It supports our growth. It supports our maturation of our eggs from what I researched. It improves ovarian function. It helps with uterine lining health. And for men, HGH can improve sperm quality, motility. It's essential. It's a major key player for our reproductive systems and functioning for their best, right? So again, I actually talk about this hormone in that ebook, and I'll link it below as well, because I think hormones are key, right? If you're trying to get pregnant, like, you need to make sure they're balanced, they're right where they need to be. And actually, my husband just got some blood work done, literally texted me today. He has vitamin D levels that are low, testosterone that is low. So we need to focus on improving that, right? So it is very important that we focus on this specific hormone. But I have been using SomaDerm, which is a homeopathic HGH gel, as part of my routine. I think I've been on it for now 3 weeks. And I didn't notice anything right away, but the more I use it, the more I've been consistent with it, I'm feeling a lot clearer, a lot more energized. Sleep has been weird. I've been going through some things lately, like the colonoscopy and this time change. Like, I've been just off, I think, for like 3 weeks now. But I really believe that the gel has kind of helped compensate with some of the things that I've been going through. And I removed my IUD as well, so in the beginning of the year. So I think my body's just been going through a lot lately. And so the gel has really kind of helped me maintain and just help naturally support my HGH levels. But again, I don't stop there. I combined it with lifestyle. I work out. I make sure I eat protein. Your biggest impact on fertility is just going to be your overall wellness, right? So we want to make sure we're doing the things that we need to do before, you start trying the supplements, before you're doing all the things, because the habits that you have now are really going to impact your overall wellness, which is going to be a big factor in increasing your fertility. So again, we want to take this approach to fertility. And I mean, again, I've never struggled with fertility. My youngest is 4 now, though, so it's not like I've been trying for, that long. And I'm just really curious how this journey is going to go. Based on the statistics out there, I'm not that old, but I'm still a little older. And it's just the thought of like, what if I can't anymore? That does stress me out a little bit, just to be honest. Like, I've never struggled, but it is a thought that comes into my head when this is something that, oh my gosh, there's just so many noise out there, so many stories, and I just want to do everything in my power to do what I can, right? And so my habits are already in check, but I do want to emphasize the question of, where does SomaDerm fit into a more holistic fertility strategy, right? And so I like to think of it as a full body equation. Everything from managing stress levels to a healthy gut plays a huge role. So I really kind of want to break that down, right? Because we think everything is separate, but it's really not. We're a whole. When we divide our body, I like to think of them as players, right? Our gut is a player. There's a lot of MVPs in our body, right? But as a team, when we work together, when everything is functioning, we are more likely to succeed. And the goal here is to get pregnant, to get knocked up, right? So that is what we are kind of talking about today, and we're going to break it down. So let's begin with hormonal balance and endocrine health. So for fertility, everything really starts with hormonal balances, right? HGH influences estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, all which need to be in sync, right? But hormone balance isn't just about what you take, or it's about really how your body is going to work well, right? It's going to be a good team. So what's going to help your body, right? During these times of trying to conceive, trying to create a life, we want to make sure we're eating whole foods. We want to make sure our diet has nutrient-dense food in it. Healthy fats, oh my gosh, healthy fats and high quality protein is going to be number one. I was actually just giving a talk the other day, and I did mention this. Like, if you are trying to get pregnant, and this is a note to myself because I'm trying to lean out. I had talked about I want to be leaner. I want to, be at a certain goal. But right now, I got to kind of choose which one is more important, right? I'm at, I think last time I checked, I was like 21% body fat. And based on measurements that I did and like calculated and stuff. And so I got to think, like, do I really want to go any lower than that? If I go any lower than that, I could mess with my hormones. That means eating less, depending on the regimen that I'm in. So right now, just kind of maintaining healthy fats are going to be super important because they definitely help with hormone function, and eating high protein, quality protein. Our hormones are made out of protein, right? Our muscle are made out of protein, which all of those are connected, that are going to help balance our overall signals and things that are going to help our hormones stay where they need to be, right? So that is going to be your number one. If we are not focusing on whole foods or nutrient-dense foods, some of the things that I looked up right now, because I did mention earlier, my husband came back with low testosterone, low vitamin D. Eggs are a good protein source. They're a good fat source. Salmon it's a very fatty fish. It has vitamin D. It has omegas. You want to get pumpkin seeds because zinc is good for testosterone and all of these things. Like, I'm doing the research to like get us in an optimal place where we need to be. And so just looking for foods to help the quality of our body improve is also going to improve those chances, right? And so managing stress and cortisol levels are going to be essential as well, because stress can really throw off your hormones and completely be out of whack. So learning to manage those, which is our strategies that I give in my coaching program as well, because if you're not losing weight and you're thinking you're doing all the right things, and there might be something that's blocking you from going to that next level. And so that is a big factor in helping you balance your hormones, learning to control what you can and letting go of what you can't, right? Very important. And also supporting thyroid and adrenal health, right? With resting, not overworking out or overdoing it, and making sure we're staying hydrated and providing our body with the right minerals and things that is asking for, right? So I don't just rely on the SomaDerm. It is something that I'm taking to kind of add to my body, right? I make sure nutrition, that I'm managing my stress, that I'm supporting my sleep habits, that I have a natural, my body's in a natural rhythm where it's not compensating or it's not overly in one direction, right? So the second thing that I wanted to talk about, so that was kind of like more a hormonal balance, endocrine health, right? I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about egg and sperm quality, right? So fertility isn't just about whether you conceive, it's really about quality control, quality of eggs and the sperm, right? We want good, healthy, vibrant little swimmers down there. And so HGH has been shown to improve egg quality and maturation, which again, for me, like I only have one ovary, right? So I feel like the eggs got cut in half when my ovary was removed. And it's really just key in trying to conceive. And so things that you can do, which I am already a fan of. I love berries. Lately, raspberries have been my thing. Like I can chow one of those things down in a heartbeat. Make sure we're having berries and different types, right? Blackberries, berries, blueberries, strawberries, like all of them, omega-3s, all of that. It's going to improve your mitochondrial health and improve the function of your reproductive health, right? As well as adding nutrients like CoQ10, zinc, which again, you can get a lot from walnuts, seeds, chia seeds, from natural food sources. Pumpkin seeds are always my number one. They are the highest in magnesium. I'm not sure on zinc, but they do contain zinc. And so I always like a variety of seeds to add to my diet. Those energy balls that I made a few weeks ago, oh my God, the best. And I'm sure they were full of all of these goods because it was walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, it had dates, it had all of these good things, right? So we want to make sure we're eating real key nutrients. And again, that's also omegas, right? If we're not eating fish, make sure we're supplementing with something that's quality. And again, I offer my full script storefront where you can get quality supplements, and you can order from any brand there and you'll get a 10% discount as well. So that will also be on the link on the show notes below to make sure you're getting that. If you're not eating the fish that you know, even just once a week will make a huge difference. I like buying this tuna from Costco. It's really high in DHA, EPA, I mean, all the things. So I was like, if you're not getting that, you need to get that on the list if you are trying to conceive for sure. And lastly, for the quality of egg and sperm, again, movement is essential, but it's last here on the keynotes, right? We want to make sure if we're not strength training, we are doing some kind of movement, whether it's yoga, walking, Zumba. You know, if you're not getting at least like 7,000 to 8,000 steps, then we need to get up there to really move our body to help regulate hormones and improve circulation. So all of these three things, think of it as it priming your body, right? So that when the time comes, your eggs or your partner's sperm are the best possible. Okay. So next, we're going to be talking about uterine health and blood flow, right? Which we kind of touched a little bit earlier with possible, circulation and improving that with movement. HGH also supports tissue repair, circulation, which means it plays a role in endometrial health or the health of your uterine lining, which is strong, well-nourished lining is key for implantation, right? We want to make sure the egg sticks. I remember when I had my first miscarriage, I was 6 weeks, and it just didn't stick, right? Like I had the pregnancy test, it came back positive, and a few weeks later, I just kind of very traumatic experience. I started spotting earlier that evening. I think it was like around 6 or 7, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I just felt weird. I was all wet, and like I opened the covers, and like my whole body was like bottom part, TMI, this might be a little too much, but the covers were all covered in blood. Like it just didn't stick, right? So you want to make sure your body and endometrial health and uterine lining is all well nourished for this specific process of, when your body's implanting and being there, right, in that moment. So to enhance this effect, I really want to focus on things like, again, increasing circulation, which is exercise, massaging, lymphatic massage as well. Like a lot of that is so good for you, right? Reducing inflammation. You can also be looking at some herbs like turmeric, ginger, leafy greens. If you're not somebody that likes leafy greens, just add spinach to a salad. Spinach has very minimal flavor. Like I don't like kale. Like I don't know how people do kale. I cannot do kale. I've tried kale chips. I tried making them myself. They just don't come out. But I can do spinach. I can just throw them with my eggs, saute them, however, or just kind of eat a handful and just eat it, right? Like I gotta eat the greens. I'm just gonna make it happen. I gotta eat them today, right? So just making it happen. That's why I like spinach so much. It doesn't really have a taste, and I can just do that with that specific green, leafy green, and it just gets done that way. If you didn't know. So staying hydrated, again, to support blood flow, hormone transport. If you are somebody that's active, that's working out, as well as making sure you're getting the correct and the right electrolytes without a lot of things that you don't want, you can also get them from Make Wellness. I love their grapefruit flavor. The link is also in the show notes. So lots of things that you can really support your body to increase those chances of getting, pregnant. So this is about creating the best possible environment for your pregnancy to happen naturally, right? And when we talk about this, it's kind of hard not to talk about detoxifying, right? So when we talk about lymphatic massage and really reducing inflammation, we really also want to talk about detoxing, which is something that I don't think a lot of people do this enough. And I don't know about you, but the sauna to me feels amazing because honestly, toxins and inflammation can really interfere with fertility. Endocrine disruptors in plastics, pesticides, skincare, I mean, you name it, they're pretty much everywhere. And so that's why for me, I naturally just kind of focus using the sauna, right? It just really supports that detox, that circulation. It is my absolute favorite thing to do. Like I couldn't care less about the gym, but because I have that sauna available to me, I just feel so good, so energized. I had been breaking out for a couple of weeks after the colonoscopy. My hormones were kind of like, whoa, what happened here? And now I'm getting back on track. And I mean, the sauna just kind of really helps my skin just glow like after that. Now, I do recommend you kind of washing your face after that, so there's no like bacteria on the sweat and things like that. But the sauna is so good for this reason. It really helps your body detox and improve circulation, right? And you also want to add some fiber-rich foods to help the liver eliminate any excess hormones, right? Like I've said, fiber helps so much. You want to make sure you're going to the bathroom every day. You want to make sure you support all the organs. Remember, your body is a whole team of MVP players, and they all have a key role to play. And so while let's call fiber doing the practice, doing the drills, right? It is helping your liver eliminate excess hormones. So we want to make sure that is happening on a daily basis. A good recommendation, I think the RDA is about 25 grams per day. I would want to up it up. I normally tell my clients we need to hit about 30, maybe 35 if possible, to really make sure our body is in the best state possible. And if you want to incorporate as well, maybe some fasting or intermittent fasting to encourage cellular repair, you definitely can. I would definitely include this like on the first half of your cycle. So day 1 of your period to like right before ovulating maybe, but I wouldn't do it the second half of your period for sure. And again, HGH just plays a huge role in healing immune function. So when you combine all of these strategies that we've been talking about, right? It's just giving your body that extra boost. And, it's not only for detoxing and reducing inflammation, right? To help you, it's honestly really good for doing all of these things. For me, it just kind of helps me, like, I'm doing what I can with whatever in my control. It really helps me mentally and emotionally, right? So because it is the stress of like, we need to conceive, and it like every month, right? Because there's only so many tries that you have. And for me, it's a little harder these few, couple of months. My husband is traveling, so we have to kind of coordinate the days and the times that we have to, get busy, because there's like days that you're ovulating and that you need to do that, right? So the app that I use is Flow, and I normally don't like paying for those things, but I actually just got I paid for the year membership, and this is not sponsored. This is just something that I've been using for a really long time, but I feel like it's really accurate with my period because I'm pretty much consistent. And when it says I'm ovulating, like I can see the signs that I'm ovulating, and I just really like the app. It has so many explanations, so many good things. I will put it on here below as well, but it's something that I like to track, right? It just kind of helps me stay on track, relieve a little bit of stress that, again, directly impacts me and my balance, my hormone balance, and just kind of doing what I can to feel better about I'm doing my best, I'm doing what I can, and leaving the rest up to God, right? But here are some few things that you can also do, right? You can meditate, you can journal, you can, number 1 would be prioritize sleep. We want to make sure we are getting our beauty's rest, our queen's rest. We want to make sure we're sleeping from 7 to 9 hours at night to really support our hormone regulation. And again, combine that with a little bit of movement, exercising to really negate, like if we're having a bad day, make sure we're going outside. I started talking about spring break, spring reset. We are in this season, we have more daylight out, it's not as hot yet. It's a great time to just use the outdoors, even if it's just a walk around your neighborhood, to really relieve that stress and removing unnecessary stressors from your regular routines, right? It's about really trusting yourself, trusting that your body can handle what is coming your way, and that knowing that by you taking care of it in every way possible, like things are going to work out, right? So I want to leave it at that. So I kind of wanted to talk about, what my journey kind of looks like, right? So what am I doing to support my body? And again, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, but I also go to bed at 8 with the kids, right? Lately, it's been 9. So I've been kind of pushing that. If you need to take naps during the day, take naps, right? Make sure you're getting that rest. But with the life that I have and the kids that I have, I need to make sure I'm still waking up in the morning. I like walking, nothing too drastic on the treadmill, just putting on my favorite show and just kind of doing that in the morning while fueling my body with a good high protein breakfast. I do about 4 eggs. I was doing 2 egg whites and 2 regular eggs, but I might just bump that up to just 4 eggs and 4 egg whites, right? Just making sure I have all the nutrients that come from eggs. Make sure they're pasteurized. They're like free range. They can move around. So good quality egg does matter as well. During the midday, again, you want to prioritize hydration. You want to prioritize working out, resisting training, even 2 days a day. Like it doesn't have to be, oh, I have to be at the gym 4 or 5 days a week. Nope, 2 days is all you need. I like to do 3, but 2 will be enough. Trust me, especially if you're not used to that, it can be just a great stress reliever and a great building muscle opportunity with a lot of time frame to improve your movement and quality and strength. And it doesn't take that much, right? In the evening, I haven't been that great lately, but I do remind myself to wear my blue light blocking glasses, and I make sure I get those on there. And throughout the day, I do want to make sure I am taking my electrolytes. I am putting on my SomaDerm. I put it on in the morning, 2 pumps, and in the evening, I do 2 pumps. So I want to make sure it's just complementing everything that I'm doing with my lifestyle. This isn't just about fertility, it's about feeling my best, right? And doing everything that I can to help my body get to where I want to go. And so just to wrap this up, thank you. This one was kind of long, but using SomaDerm does boost HGH. It's a powerful tool for fertility, but it works best paired with these holistic habits that I'm always talking about, always advocating. So if you're on a journey to focus on hormone balance, egg and sperm quality, like reducing inflammation and prioritizing your mental health, your body is capable of amazing things. And so when you give it the right tools, right? So keep on doing the good work for your body, and you have a great assemble of MVPs inside there, and I hope you reach your goals of getting pregnant. So if you've enjoyed this episode and want to learn more about the way I coach health, my fertility journey, follow me on Instagram and check out some of my coaching programs. I help women build habits for long term. As always, if you love this episode, share it with a friend or leave a review. It helps so much. It makes my day. Trust me, I would love to read those. Until next time, take care of yourself, trust your body, and I'll see you at the next time.